Y'all can't see that right now. Y'all can see the light.
Protect my chest, slugs never go up in me, plus I'm busting plenty. At whoever, cause I'm aggravated. And niggas on the streets can only talk about half the shit the kid did. 20 years inside the safe, I had bitches, the guns annoying. First day after first, corrupt thoughts since I was younger. 40 baby ghetto players, hunger, run up blast, fuck ass, and niggas make them wonder. I'm on some strong fruit, snort the kid shit again. You see me be a satellite inside the Caribbean. My real team flip bricks, we got the king bitches, legit business, farm guard, the street bitches. We smoke supply spam that need coke. That's a lie if I die, me leaving my seed broke. You know the situation, all physical place you in. Too late before you recognize the fucking face you in. Step back, cock the Glock, car race again. After this, you looking for the kid, but ain't the trace.
Niggas be stuck, dead in the game, we don't remain an honest citizen. Bitches be fucking minions, scammers be filling up the pen. I pace the Marriott, girls and scotch anticipating. When will I make it? Yearning for riches, I can't fake it. From Barry like Paris, just think she bad, cause she dance, party in my bottles. Cherokees and presidential condoms. On the real, jealous niggas be feeling still. Gotta make a meal, put penthouses on top of the hill. What the fuck, I wonder if rebellion will lead to struggle. Plus the feds be bugging, collar codes before the snow we thugging. Bankroll with measurements of food. We got shit to move to re-up and stash another couple bucks. My luck, today your destiny. Then they do like testing me. 199 follow the beat and MPDs while we pushing trees. With Pelly banging Scarface, quality shoes. And Cuban links and diamond jewels, smoke a pound or two. Got a connector from Peru to pharmacies banging. Don't come from us, gon' be no slanging. What the fuck's up? Fabulous, strictly for rugged, Philly finest be up. Videos, we sporting verse, so make the hoodies until.
No fat, nigga. No Diddy. Hockey as bull. They ain't ready for me.
Ice rocks up on the socks, mommy roots you got it. Be the Vegas, that be the hideaway. Handling shit. In 97, you a Yahweh, bitch.
Yeah, though. Just let y'all see how lean I got. No Diddy, though, you know. Gotta take care of yourself. I watch what you eat. Look.
I pack the heat for demonstrations in the camp. Your house and shit is canceled because the journal lecture section. The victim shells, so the hit was not perfection. I'm married to my drugs, faithful goals, ain't no divorcing. So when you think extortion, we stop it early like abortion. We on the corner with rocks, but now we motivate and wait. Cook it up in the pot, spread it on the preview, 20 SL. Top down, we
get that 6-pack, 8-pack back.
Look at me now.
Rags to riches. Philly Trenches here.
It's like I said, the scared niggas get you awakened. You steady faking while we going for $1 million plus. It's DOD the situation, y'all can't fuck with us. Professionals, never professionals. Shed on the show for rules. The photographs of those models is locking low. Smoke cream, I make the black explode. Niggas get rock control. Lex thing, SC100 gold. They leave scenes to be the plans.
Yeah, little cousin.
Ranch, yo, I hella trees, lays, Italian burning keys ring. A 50 beam, a shovel wing, Glocks from Austria. Chest burning from vodka, cocaine, shipping from Bogota. Fly niggas take pings with diamond cluster rings. If it equal the king, spurging the good things. The things bring vision to have more. Get this cream, what match your rap for? Gazes Garcia Vegas, real nigga, fucking your name or surviving street wars. It's all about rocks, the size of Rushmore, powder that's for Poncho. Baby, the Lord, do or die, bitch. Animosity make you dry snitch. Y'all just pushing the ground with chrome factory dip, coppers, caviar. Desert Eagles, the Burial. Agents who tried to lock me. Did it sloppy.
Got me in, Poppy.
I need this currency about a half a kid.
You better get busy.
Best of teams, with this cheddar.
Hello world, I'm just here to make you think. This CEO Philly Trenches Hockey Raw coming at you live and direct with this bonus exclusive video. Philly Trenches Celebrity News / World News bonus video. I got y'all. I'm about to talk about the John Gotti situation, about the fight or incident he had when he was in the federal penitentiary. Now, in that situation, because I did make a video about that before when I had my other channel, right? And it made a lot of views, you know, but they want me to, they like, yo, make a video about the boy, Walter Johnson, you know, the boy that, you know, went through something with John Gotti and this, that, and the third. So I remember making that video, right? And I also have content what John Gotti's son said, as well as what, Walter Johnson said, his own words, how he was cool with John Gotti. If John Gotti was a racist or not, he's going to break it down. But the thing is all these different stories as to what happened to John Gotti and why it happened. Y'all going to hear John Gotti's son say what he saw. Then y'all going to hear it from a correctional officer who was there, who seen it go down. Right? So you're going to hear from John Gotti Jr., which is John Gotti's son. Mind you, he was allegedly acting boss for his father while his father was in the feds. So when he get his account of what he said happened to his father in the feds, you can also hear something totally different from what he said from the cop, the guard that was in the jail, how he seen it all go down. And it's going to make it look like, in Walter Johnson own words, that they was friends. They used to work out together and all that. Trying to make it seem like they wasn't friends, they ain't know each other, they just so happened to be in the yard together, working out, and an altercation happened. No. See, what y'all don't know is, in Miriam, see, you understand something, John Gotti was in the penitentiary in the 1960s, in the feds, in Lewisburg, in Pennsylvania. One of the roughest, if not the roughest, federal penitentiary period in the country, in the United States. When he was there, my Uncle Smiley, Frederick Armour of the Black Mafia, was in that facility in the feds at the same time. So when John Gotti was in there doing time, my Uncle Smiley was in the federal penitentiary, what he meant, Lewisburg, my family, as well as my brothers and myself, was going to go visit my uncle up in Lewisburg. Yeah. So when he got locked up, we was just think about it like this. Just imagine John Gotti in the visiting room where my Uncle Smiley had his visit. And I come to visit him not knowing, unbeknown to me, I'm in the visiting room with all these gangsters and mobsters. I'm just a kid. Yeah, that's like something to think about. Like, damn, he was around all these gangsters and all this, and y'all don't even realize, like, before I even came into this world, my mother was incarcerated. She was in the hole in the house correction because somebody told on her about, I think, a guard or something, or somebody worked in the jail, was sneaking shit in the jail, was making money, ice cream tickets or some shit, and the girl got caught and told on my mother, and they put my mom in the hole for 2 weeks. And I think she was pregnant with me and my brother at the time. So I probably did whole time. Well, I was just crazy, right? So anyway, she told me that the other day. I'm going to throw that in there. Anyway, I'm going to show y'all the videos of John Gotti Jr. saying how his father got assaulted. You also going to hear from a prison guard saying that he saw it happen, how it went down. And you also going to hear from, Walter Johnson, was John Gotti a racist or not. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is, because I know I saw it already, the video of the guard saying this, because I did see it earlier. So y'all want to hear it, though. I want to hear the audio, because I'm going to be right here. Cause, y'all can watch the video, too, but since somebody else's video, so, I'm on YouTube. And, is it that one? Let me see if this is the video. I'm going to just play it out. This might be it. This might be one of them. Description, fair use is act.
I like having you in my life.
When I hit this commercial thing go off,
Same thing.
and I will let y'all know I got the video from, y'all want to see the video yourself after I show it to y'all. Y'all can go to that channel and say, okay, I want to see the full video on your own. Hold up. Oh, no, that's about the, no, not him. No, that's Al Prophet video. No, I want to see his video. He might have strike, even though I don't think he ever strike me before when I was Fully Trenches. Everybody watched Fully Trenches. But I just want to show y'all the right one because y'all listen to it. That's the one that wasn't had nothing to do with him. I don't think it's the one when he got hit in the head. Let me see if this is the one when he got hit in the head. No, that's the other guy video. Definitely not his video. But when y'all see this, y'all gonna hear it from his son saying Now y'all gonna hear from his son saying how John Gotti got assaulted. Right? Now listen.
February 5th, 1999.
This John Gotti's son.
I was granted a visit, which wasn't supposed to be a visit. It was supposed to be a phone call because I refused to take a plea on the case. And I took the plea on the case. Well, I wanted to see my father, and I wanted to be declared a civilian. I wanted to be put on a shelf for the rest of my life. And I sent him a message up earlier, and he evaluated that message. And when I walked into that visit, he...
Hold up, I don't think that's the one. Hold up. That's not the video, but I'm going to show y'all the video when he says that, because it's the video that he's on that the same interview, but I think this is the one, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? Let me see. This is it. Now this guy...
for you when you go down.
This guy right here, he's going to talk about, this is the son talking about how his father got assaulted in jail. Now, when y'all hear him, y'all
Did anybody try to go after your father just for street cred or no?
Someone sucker punched him in chains, and that's it. I don't know how much time we have. Believe me, we can talk.
I'm good.
We could talk about this forever.
Some sucker punched him.
Yeah.
And what happened to the guy that did?
He got what he wanted. Here's what he wanted. Okay. He was a sick individual. This guy's name is Walter Johnson was his name. Walter Johnson, and he was from the Philadelphia area. He was a black gangbanger, and he was on the same floor, the tier with the DC Blacks. Yeah. The DC Blacks are known throughout the federal system. A lot of them are Muslims.
DC Blacks?
They're known as the DC Blacks. A lot of them are known throughout the federal system. Very popular, very large prison organization.
Now, before I continue, right, it's a Walter O. Johnson, a former convict who is about to stand trial in a fatal shooting of a Metro Transit police officer, attacked Mafia boss John Gotti more than 7 years ago during a stay in prison according to court papers. Now, they used to say he was from North Philly and that he went to jail for guns and robbery and all sorts of other stuff. But he's going to get on there and say that he went to jail for drugs, right? And that his conversation, when y'all hear him talk, is going to be totally different from John Gotti's son. It seemed like he's trying to paint a picture of Walter Johnson to be some type of gangbanger that got down with DC Blacks to try to get down with them. But after y'all hear this, what really happened was the Aryan Nation Brotherhood allegedly stepped to John Gotti, because John Gotti was in jail before. That's why I brought up the first time when I said my uncle was in the feds, because John Gotti was in the feds before. So when he got out and got big and became the boss and went back to jail, the Aryan Nation leaned on him for some payment for protection. And allegedly he gave the money up. And I think when he stopped paying, that's when I think, allegedly, they paid Walter Johnson to go at him. And so then John Gotti allegedly paid the Aryan Nation some money to handle it, but they reneged on it. Because why else would they didn't touch him? So that's what really happened, but this is what they say happened.
A lot of them are Muslims.
This is his son.
What they did was he was in with the DC Blacks, and they began to pull his card. He was basically making statements that he was with the DC group, he was affiliated throughout the federal system, and they were now in the process of checking him out. And they were about to pull his card. So he wanted to get off that floor before they kill him. So who's the highest popular, most notorious guy in the prison at that time is John Gotti. So for you to be moved to get a little bit of rec, okay, they only move you get chained up and you move to a rec area, and then you get unchained in that rec area, and you're allowed to be with a certain amount of inmates at one time. This is later on. When my father first got there, he was in K dorm, which is deadlocked by yourself for several years, and you have to be able to even go into the yard. But you're not leaving Marion unless you sign that paper. So he wasn't never leaving Marion. But now he's evolved to D unit, D block, then C block. A little bit more room you have there, a little bit more social. Other shot callers could be with you. While they were uncuffing him, Walter's already in the yard. Uncuffing, and he nails my father. He steals the punch.
So that's what he's saying happened. He's saying...
And they come right down, they dropped him immediately, and he got voted out of the prison immediately, what he wanted.
Now you hear that? He's saying that Walter Johnson was in the yard, in the hole, already unhandcuffed, Then they brought John Gotti out and unhandcuffed him. And as he was getting handcuffed, probably sticking your arms like backwards through the little hole. It's like a little square rectangle hole that you put your. It's like a little longer than this, wider than that, no diddy. And you put your arms through and they uncuff you. So John Gotti Jr. saying that when his father did it, he got sucker punched. That does happen. Because when I sucker punched somebody before, when I was in the hole at Cole Township for that riot, and they put me in a hole with the same guy I sucker punched in the chow hall, I thought he was going to try to do me the same way because they put us together. They weren't even supposed to have it together because he told on me before. So when I put my hands through the wick, that was his chance to try to do something to me. You feel what I'm saying? But he didn't. He stayed in the corner. He was like 6'3". Compared to me, I'm 5'4". But I guess he knew from hearing through the grapevine that he really could have got hurt. And you know, I could have got him hurt after I got out the hole when the whole Philly was in the jail. Because he was from Coatesville. He's the only one from Coatesville in the jail. So, you know, he was sitting duck for real. Because once they found out I put my hands on him, everybody's writing people around the jail. So anyway, that's what he said happened. Now, I want y'all to hear what Walter Johnson said happened. Now, when he talk, y'all also going to hear what the guards said. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Because the guards said, you know, you heard the son say after he got punched, they immediately jumped on Walter Johnson, but that ain't what happened. The guards said he hit several times. We couldn't even see who he was hitting at first. He said he was hitting him for, like, he was really hurting him, kicking him and all that for a while before they got to him. I think this is it. It was John Gotti erases. This it right here. Now I'm gonna show y'all this video. This is Walter Johnson, how he look.
We need a small business loan back.
He's sitting in the park with a female by a YouTuber. I'm gonna show y'all who the YouTubers is. And this, alright, this is the one YouTuber right here. It's his channel, Street TV. Show parts of his content. And this is the brother right here. Assaulted, allegedly punched John Gotti. But y'all gonna hear him talk how they was friends and all that. Let's listen to it. Let's go.
John Gotti, you have anything you could add from the last interview? Well, a lot of people seem to like.
Well, I mean,
hearing about that.
it's like this. Like I said, a lot of people think thought he was racist. He wasn't racist. I mean, we even had the conversation that I told him people think you're racist, and he said he don't know why. He never had an incident on TV or into the public where he did something. I said something to some blacks. Everybody that he got it to wasn't Italian. So you know, if he was racist, like I said, if he was racist, you know, it was his own people.
So we had some get something to the brother talk about.
I told him about all the rappers that mentioned him in songs. I asked, did you know Fat Joe? I said, did you know Fat Joe? He was like, no, who's Fat Joe? I said, he's a rapper. You know, and when you got locked up, he mentioned you in the song. You know, now in '93, they should free John Gotti. So he didn't know. Only person that he was familiar with was Snoop Dogg. He knew Snoop Dogg's video, What's My Name? He said, only rapper that he knows is the guy that turns into a dog. I said, oh, that's Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, he didn't know the other rappers. And I
listened to him.
I rapped all the songs that I knew that had his name in it to him. You know, like Let Me Ride with Dr. Dre and all the different songs. Yeah, he appreciated that. He liked it, but yeah, he was. Me and John Gotti we used to go to rec every day. We was allowed to go outside the rec. We used to go to rec all the time. But you know, when he passed, I was like, damn. You know, he just like he came and went. But I was glad I was able to spend some time with him. You know, in my was it '97? We was in a unit together for about 8 to 10 months, somewhere around that time. Wasn't long, wasn't a year, but it was enough time. You know, and you know, he told me a lot of stuff that he told me I wouldn't share with nobody because it was some real sensitive topics.
He wasn't really, you know, one thing I can say about it, he wasn't sweating time, he wasn't stressing, and then he wasn't never, a lot of people with life sentences in prison, they always talk about when they get out. You know, like, oh, when I get out, motherfucker, you got 3 life sentences. When you gonna get out?
You know what I'm saying? He never was on that kind of trip.
Now look, That was the relationship that they had. They was friends for 10 months, right? Now, it ain't like they was enemies. But what led up to that situation, John Gotti going through that altercation, I'm going to just let y'all see something that I put together on this video so y'all can see the video I put together, show y'all real fast. We'll get back into the situation. What video is it? Oh, come on. The video must be in that phone right there. I know I made the video. But they got it. I think it's in this phone. This is crazy. The video is in this phone. Anyway, the video is about the same man, and he's showing how he was assaulted by. It's a short video too. It ain't like a long video. It's a short video. It was showing how he was assaulted and why he was assaulted. He was in the jail. The Aryan Nation boys had put a little situation out on him because he ain't cooperate with them. He was supposed to get him some money because he had took, when you go to them type of jails and you a major figure like that, you're going to need protection because you're going to have motherfuckers come at you. You're going to have motherfuckers test you, whether the Italian mob is in jail or not. The feds is a different ball game. He paying the Aryan Nation boys, right? And did I send it? I think, let me see if I sent it to this. Let me see. I might have sent it to the phone. Whereas though I did save the video. I got it, but I think I saved it. Like I always send something somewhere. I think this might be it. Hopefully this is it. Hopefully this is it. But yeah, though, this might not be it. Let's see. But anyway, the Aryan Nation was taxing John Gotti. Put the tax on him. He was paying. So then he stopped paying. Then when he stopped paying, what made Walter Johnson, that was cooling for 8 months, I don't know, man. It's like maybe they gave him some money to do it, man, because how can you get cool with somebody like that and just... Because, everybody thought he was crazy and deranged that he just would go at John Gotti. Like, why would you go at John Gotti? And the way they said it, he was a hating-ass dude. They said John Gotti said a racial slur. That's why he got beat down like that. But I think it's bigger than that because the guy just told you John Gotti wasn't a racist. But I think it was just business. Because I don't know, you could be around somebody. I knew somebody in jail in Greene County got really cool with somebody. Right? Worked out with him for a whole year, but he lining him up to hurt him. And one day he was working out in the yard and he hit him up with the knife crazy while he was working out. So that's what it seemed like happened right there. But you never know. In jail, you never know who you owe a favor to, who you doing business with, and what's at stake. Now, the Aryan Nation, those dudes was getting paid by John Gotti. But when John Gotti refused to pay any more money, and that assault happened, allegedly John Gotti pulled ahead, went to the boy, to Aryan Nation boys, and gave him some money to get the boy out the way. $500,000 or $50,000, something like that. And they reneged on it. Why they reneged on it? I think it was something based on John Gotti not keeping his word, saying something smart or whatever. Whatever they did it for, I guess they did it with though, okay, we got this money. He's not going to pay us anymore after we do this to this guy. So it's going to make probably Aryan Nation, they probably think it's going to make him look weak because he ain't paying. So they said, fuck it, just want to take the money and let the boy handle that for us because they had to pay him or something had to happen. There's a lot of videos with this boy on here on this channel because that was part 4 on this channel right here. This is the channel y'all can go watch. Street TV. And that's part 4, so it must be some more parts to it because he did add more to it, to the video. But I think I got to show you the one when the guard, I'm going to find it. Show you this one when the guard start talking and the guard breaks down what he said happened in that situation. Because I just seen the video. Let me see if this is it. It might be. Let me see. I think this is it. I think they said he robbed a bank or something. Hold this up. And this is crazy. Now, you know what's crazy about this story? Walter Johnson said, I'm going to let y'all finish listening to his tape too. Because I'm going to let y'all hear, I'm going to go back and forth. But right here, they said Walter Johnson was a bank robber. Pretty went to jail for robbing shit, right? A bank robber. But out his mouth, he said he got locked up for all this cooked up crack cocaine. So, I don't know who's lying here, but just listen to the tape. This shit is crazy. Let's listen to it.
July of 1996, Walter Johnson, a bank robber, beat John Gotti, the boss of bosses, to a bloody pulp. It was a stand-up, man-to-man fight with both men landing blows on the other. I know this for a fact, since I was the first correctional officer on the scene.
Mr. Guard.
I saw Gotti lying on the ground, being beaten about the head and shoulders, like I recorded at the time. My name is not important, but my story is, I was a government employee for over 30 years. I retired from USP Marion not long ago. The names of all the prison employees have been changed for their safety. This whole fight has been talked about for years. Lots of misinformation has been put out there. People who showed up after the fight was over thought John Gotti, the Teflon Don, was in cuffs when he was assaulted. Nothing could be further from the truth. The photo circulated of Walter Johnson is not the Walter Johnson of USP Marion, bank robber and cop killer. I have no idea who that other Johnson is, but it is not the same man who was in the fight, if you can call it that, with John Gotti. Perhaps a lot of the wrong information out there was caused by John Gotti himself. He denied having been in a fight at all. His lawyer said that the whole story was a lie. It was fun knowing the truth when all this misinformation was going around for years. It was rumored that there was no tape of the incident. That is the government holding back the truth.
Whoa.
There is a tape, or at least there was one at the time.
I knew it was a tape.
There was a camera pointed right at the pair while Gotti was beaten into a bloody pulp.
Whoa.
The government has not released a tape for reasons of their own. Now that we have that all cleared up, I'll tell you what did happen.
Here we go.
The day before the fight, Mafia boss John Gotti, in his 50s, was walking around dog unit on what we called inside recreation. It was a hot and very humid summer day, as we have here in Southern Illinois. The inmates, 9 of them, are let out of their cells for 1 hour, but not allowed outside the unit. So they walk around the half of the cell block that they have access to. Upstairs, the walkway is very narrow and over 100 feet long. Downstairs is about 18 feet wide and 120 feet long. A 5-foot wide metal grate stairs connects the upstairs with the down on the inmate side of the grill. Officers have cement stairs on their side of the grill to get upstairs. Gotti and Johnson were assigned to Charlie Range, which is upstairs. While upstairs on the 18-inch wide walk, Gotti had words with Johnson about blocking his way, according to the unit's correctional officers I spoke with. Everybody thought that was the end of the incident, but Walter Johnson is a hateful savage who never forgets a slight, no matter how long ago it was. He has been known to seek retribution for a slight years later. That exchange between the two men lit a fire of anger and hate inside Johnson.
Wow.
That anger and hate grew to overboiling in the next 24 hours.
Wow.
The next day, when the inmates were let out for their hour of inside recreation, Johnson slid up to Gotti in a way that he was not noticed until he struck Gotti in the head with his fist. Stunned, Gotti attempted to defend himself, but Johnson rained blows about his head and upper chest area. Gotti was knocked to the ground, where Johnson kicked, kneed, and beat Gotti with his fist in a vicious attack. This is when I arrived in the unit and stood at the range door watching. I yelled for all the inmates to lie down, which they did not do. I reminded them that anybody on their feet when we opened the grill door would be considered hostile and be struck with 36-inch long riot batons until they complied with my order to hit the floor. After about 1 minute, the lieutenant arrived on the scene, judged the amount of staff sufficient to handle the situation, and he ordered the door opened. When the inmates heard the order to open the grill, they all hit the floor, including Johnson and Gotti. Everybody was cuffed. The inmate I cuffed was placed in his cell upstairs.
That's crazy.
Both Gotti and Johnson were taken to the hospital in cuffs. Photos were taken of both of them while they were still in handcuffs. This is the photo you see of Gotti with the injury to his head. He was cleaned up by the physician assistant prior to the photo being taken. Gotti was very bloody as his head wound bled freely while he was beaten, and for some time, the special investigative supervisor asked Gotti how he got hurt, and the hard-boiled mafia don replied that he slipped and fell. Johnson had some scratches and swelling to his hands and red marks on his torso. Johnson said some guard injured his hands for no reason and that he had not been in a fight. Gotti was not charged with fighting after reviewing the tape of the incident. Johnson was taken to the hall and charged with assault. He was transferred to another prison after a consensus was reached that he could not be protected while at USP Marion. I have no personal knowledge, but rumor has it that there were some consequences for Johnson having dared disrespect a high-ranking member of the mafia. It was said that a hit was taken up by the Aryan Brotherhood for tens of thousands of dollars. Also, the ABs were hired to provide ongoing security for the head of the Gambino crime family, John Gotti. A closer association of the head of the commission with prison gangs also had some far-reaching impact that is felt even today, 15 years after John Gotti's death. In future episodes, I will explore how this one fight changed prison disruptive groups and how they are now led and organized in a different way.
Now listen, y'all done heard a correctional officer tell you what he saw from his observation of being here. Y'all done heard John Gotti's Jr., John Gotti's senior son, you heard his son say what he heard happen, right? Then you seen the guy who's supposedly be Walter Johnson. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing I understand is if the guard said he was locked up for bank robbery, right? And that he was a vicious person, why would this guy say he was locked up for drugs? You heard the guy that said he was locked up for what? He said he was locked up for... So let's see if we can hear Walter Johnson say what he was locked up for. Let's see if we can hear him say it.
Listen to this.
And when he started talking again, I started here because I knew for a fact when I heard it earlier, he said he was locked up for drugs.
More likely, like, hey, this is it. This is in the road.
Yeah, I think he knew he was never going to come
Right,
home.
yeah, he knew he was never going to come home, right?
I mean, when the government spends $100 million to convict you, you ain't never getting out.
Yeah, you know, because when he first came on the tier, I knew he was in an institution, but when he actually came to our unit, we hit a door rack, and then in Marion, you can't really see out the door, so you look through the little crack of the bars, because it's still bars. You look through the crack, and I seen him, and he looked just like, when I first said he looked just like he looked on TV without the suits. He walked the same, had the little smirk, he walked through a cell. I was like, I said, what's up to him? He said, what's up back? That was it. You know what I'm saying? And then we became cool, and we ain't got so cool that he was giving me food off his tray, and I was giving him food off my tray. That's how cool we got.
So you was never concerned with black inmates seeing you socializing with John Gotti, a white guy?
No.
It ain't like that in there.
And it ain't that kind of racial tension, you know, not like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got sections where the Bloods eat, the Crips, the Blacks, the Hispanics, everybody has a section where they eat.
Let's just see what he's locked up for.
Population, that's probably only like 500 people in Marion. There was only like, what, people. And then they're not going to fill the jail up, I mean, the foreigners, they're not going to fill you're not on that type of hype up in there, you know. He didn't talk to everybody. I'm just kind of, known, so he just, we lived on the same tier, and we was cool, so he would just come and get me, we'd go to rec, and we would rec all day, and a lot of times we just walk in the rec, a lot of white guys, mostly like ABs or skinheads, they be trying to holler, hey, they trying to holler, but he didn't really know what to say to him, like, what's up? He'd be like, what's up? And they'd be like, hey, what's up, man? They'd ask him questions, and he'd be like, where the hell they get these questions from?
because the marriage is sectioned off in it's just a gate separate halfway there. You get talking here.
For real, Walter Johnson just was a straight out crazy motherfucker. For the rest of it seemed like for me, he get cool with you and get really cool with you and get to arguing about anything. Next thing you know, he might hurt you. I know people like that. That's how I know a lot of people's personality. That's how I know how to deal with people.
Man, did he ever talk about how frustrated he was, how the government flipped Sammy the Bull to become one of the biggest rats?
He didn't want to talk about Sammy Bull. Yeah, Sammy Bull came on TV, and somebody had called him. He was like, turn it to the channel, because in Marion you got to watch everything off the TV, movies and TV, everything. They got the plugs. So somebody yelled up there, but we all saw it. It was Sammy the Bull where he got busted in Arizona with the ecstasy ring or something. And they was, hey, turn it. He was like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to do nothing. No, he didn't say that. He didn't even talk. Somebody mentioned he shut it down. He don't want to talk about it.
One writer said that Sammy the Bull Gravano admitted to killing more people than Jeffrey Dahmer did.
Wow.
But he got out after 5 years.
Hey.
How does that work?
I have no idea, but hey, I mean, everybody's seen it happen. I mean, because everybody know the case, and everybody know that he went to jail and he confessed to some murders. And how many years did he do in jail? 5 years, and boom, he's back out and dealing more, into more crime or whatever, and get caught up again. I mean, it's like the dudes he was dealing with. Y'all don't know who this is? I mean, he's a known dude. I mean, y'all allow him to whatever y'all doing. Hey. It's the government. I don't know.
I mean, to me, it represents sort of the hypocrisy of our justice system.
Here we go.
You want to get this guy for all the killings he did, but you're willing to let this guy go who did just as many killings or more.
And then I get caught with 1,000 grams and get down there life sentence.
Yeah, and you get caught for no killings, and you in there
just a dope case
doing 3 times more time than.
Now he say he locked up for a drug case. The guard said he's locked up for robbing a bank. When I first heard about him, they said he was locked up for robbery and this, that, and the third. But I ain't know nothing about no drug case unless they did say he had both type of charges. Unless they left one of them out, and then I don't know. But I know what I heard, that he got locked up for robbing shit and all that. But I ain't know he was locked up. He didn't say it. He didn't say he was locked up for no gun robbery. He just said he was locked up for drugs, cooking up drugs. So I don't know, man. Like, what y'all believe? I mean, y'all heard the guard story. Y'all heard his story. Y'all see, he's not going to talk about how he assaulted this guy. You got to probably go to that channel to see if he's talking about what he did for us with these hands on John Gotti. But he said they was cool with each other for like 8 to 10 months. And John Gotti used to come get him, and they used to walk the track and go in the yard and all that, and they used to eat off each other's food. I mean, trade, like if you got a tray and you don't want your pie, you might say, oh man, take the pie off my tray, or take the, he might not have some, he might have some of his tray and say, no, you know what, I don't want this today. You want it? It could be a piece of bread, it could be anything. Now, that happens. And he said he was cool with him like that. So my question is, did it really happen? And they say it's a tape. Now, what if he come to find out the truth that he never punched him at all? That it was somebody else who did it. And everything that he's saying is a lie. And they said he covered it up. And everything they said happened didn't really happen. His son said. Now, remember, John Gotti's son said his father got sucker punched while he was handcuffed, getting out the cuffs. And then they quickly broke it up. Because he don't want nobody to think or know that his father got assaulted like that, which he didn't fight back, or he couldn't handle himself against a stronger man that was black. So I guess he trying to make it seem like, oh, my dad was handcuffed, so he had a disadvantage, and he punched him. That does happen. But the guard said he saw it, and that they was arguing, then they just started fighting, but it stemmed from the day before, when they was on the top tier, and they started arguing about, yo, can you get out my way, and all that little stuff. So he said Walter Johnson got mad about how he probably talked to him or whatever. I don't know. You know, John Gotti could have been mad about something snapped and probably took it out on him. That shit happens because they got a bad phone call. That shit happened, a bad letter, bad information from a lawyer. You know, something you get mad at to get some outside information, you might take it out of whoever around you. And that could have happened. You know, but the guard said, before he can get over there to him, like close to him, that he said he just seen Walter Johnson handling his business with the hands, the feet, and all of that, just putting in work, but he couldn't tell who he was assaulting. He just knew it was another inmate, whatever. And he made everybody get on the ground, lay on the ground, and John Gotti and Walter Johnson both laid on the ground and cooperated. Everybody did. It was a camera facing them and all that. And he said John Gotti the one put it out there that this happened, that happened. His son probably wanted that. His son probably is the one that said, oh, we want to say this happened, that happened. Because why else would he say his dad got hit one time and then they all broke it up and secured it? Because he didn't want to make it seem like his dad really got fucked up like that. But you heard what the guard said before they showed you the video. They showed you the picture of him, the Polaroid picture of him. They made sure they wiped his face off and all that. They said he was leaking with blood coming from anywhere. You know, y'all watch WWF when they be bleeding all over the place because they do probably cut fast because of the texture of their skin. See, black people got that thick, that skin that can't just, but you know how white people, you touch their skin and it turn red and all that, like tender. So I'm thinking from the blows, from the hands, the feet, and the ground that John Gotti just opened up. Because, you know, you in jail, you strong. Because, see, I'm strong, you know, because you could tell when somebody is taking care of themselves as far as physically working out. Because, you know, when you work out, it's like it makes your body solid, like metal. Especially if you're lifting iron, your body going to turn into iron. It's going to be hard like iron. So if you punched him and he was working out, I can imagine what those blows did, them punches did to John Gotti. You know what I mean? But yeah, they fucked him up. We say, yo, hot, what part is that boy from? Cause go DC. Oh, they trying to claim him? No, he's from North Philly. No, listen, he's not from DC. He's from Philly. But what happened when he got out of jail, right? He got something with the transit board. You know what I mean? And then he got into something with the PO in Philly with some girl. Well, altercation with a female. Then he went out, you know what I mean, over there. He got the PO, you know, because he was real militant. And I think they said he messed his mind up. Because my brother Sekou was locked up with him. And I didn't even know that was him. Because it sounded like the same guy. My brother Sekou said, man, make a video about this guy who was locked up with me. He was in a hole. He fighting all these cases now. Just in the 30, got some drama. But you know what I mean? He alright, man. And I got like 300 something views from it. But what my brother told me was, he started reading them pro-black books, them books where they show you the white man is the devil, slavery and all that. He was reading them type of books, them George Jackson type books. And that shit made him militant. And that shit fucked with him, and the guards kept fucking with him. So he was a problem. Beating the guards up and shit like that. So that situation, you know what I mean? That's what they, you know what I mean? I don't know about him and John Gotti, but when he got out of jail, he went through something with the PO or whatever. And then he went over to Washington, D.C. And then he went on a run. And the transit people got an altercation with him. And then allegedly, I don't know, I guess the Metro cop in D.C. lost his life. But no, he's from Philly, out paroled in Philly. He said when he went on a run, he went out D.C. because he was cool with them D.C. boys. So you do time in the penitentiary, right? You might have did a decade. That's 10 years. When you become a part of a gang, whatever, coach in jail, that's your family now. That shit carry on forever. And they pledge like that in them jail. You know how some people go to jail and get into gangs and all that, then they go home, they somebody else. No, think about it. If you got friends in another city and you built with them because over the years, in your darkest hours, you found a new family. So they're going to be real bonded with you. Y'all got that bond. So when he got in trouble in Philly, he said, man, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Made some phone calls, probably called people out DC and went out there. But then he got into something with the transit board. Because when he went out, think about it. The Metro Transit bus board, whatever that shit happened at. Think about it. He went there. Why would he be at a bus station? You know what I'm saying? He went there because he was on the run from Philly. And I think he was on the run for a couple of days, too. Yeah, there's a big article and everything about that, though. But they probably claimed him because he got the time in with him. But no, he probably saying, you know how it is when you like have a football team that you like, and then they sell you down the river, so you like, fuck, it ain't my team no more. This is my team. That's what it seemed like happened with his situation, which though, he's saying fuck Philly because Philly locked him up. Ain't nobody fully come seeing him and all that, so he get with these DC boys. They hook him up with a female probably, take him in like a brother. That's his new family. So that's why they probably claiming him. That's why he probably claiming DC. This shit happen all the time. You know what I mean? But he was like, make a video about it. I'm like, damn, because I'm trying to figure it out. Y'all seen the video. I'm going to show y'all where y'all can go at to see the one video with the guy when the son was talking. Now, when the son was talking, he was on that guy channel, I think from the Middle East. He get everybody to talking. Getting everybody to, I guess. It's just the video. I think it's the video. It's a few of them that he made, but they gotta show the guy. It's this one. See? That's the guy, his channel. That's his father. That's the son. And this is the name of the channel. So, in the description, free disclaimer, everything I'm talking to you about and showing y'all is for educational purposes only. You know, because I make videos about Philadelphia past, as well as people past, as well as my past. And the guy, Walter Johnson, was from Philadelphia. You know, Philadelphia, and he went out Washington, D.C. because he had made family in jail like that. You know what I mean? But, yeah, a lot of dudes get down with a gang in jail, and they become their family. Because when you're in jail, it's a different world. You know? You can get females in jail. You can make money in jail selling drugs. You can pay for your lawyer by doing all that. And you got to move and shake, and that shit real. It's intense. You know? When I met this Puerto Rican guy that was from Philly, and we was both getting transferred from, I think, he was coming from Smithville. I was coming from Greatest Ford to Smithville, because Camp Hill wasn't where they take you at no more. They take you to Smithville. So they're taking everybody to Smithville. All these vans coming there to pick everybody up, wherever jail they going to. It was like we was cattle in these fucking rooms, and they'd come, they call your name. Wherever jail you going to, that's the big ass room you going in. So the guy was in my room. So they called Huntington. Huntington was only down the road, literally like not even a half a mile, probably 200 feet away, probably 400 feet away of that long. I'm just estimating that you could see the other jail from one location to one location. It was like down the street from each other. But Huntington was a penitentiary. Smithville is an institution. The difference is institution got central air all year round. So you don't know if it's cold or hot outside because it's central air and central heat. Huntington is like being in a castle. You can feel the cold and the heat, whatever, every weather. And you're going to see the dust particles. So we going to Huntington, we getting on this big ass, look like a Greyhound bus. And he was telling me how the feds was. And this motherfucker would not stop shaking his knees. He would not stop biting his nails in his hands. Because he said the feds made him that way. Because he said, as soon as you get to the feds, you have to join a gang. Or you will be food. Yeah, so he went through a lot in jail. So I can imagine. But what behoovers me is, if John Gotti was the top boss like that in the federal jails, and you hear what the guy Walter Johnson said, he said, them BAs, the ABs, you know, Aryan Nation gang, kept trying to come at John Gotti when he was outside. He said he didn't understand their language. He didn't know what they wanted. They was pressing him because they wanted him to pay rent. They was trying to extort him. So I think he gave him some money or whatever he gave him, or I don't know how it went down or what the case may be. I'm assuming because John Gotti paid them, Walter Johnson got mad because they say he used to read them books and really read them from pro books with those everything that the white man did, the Jim Crow, calling him cracker, yeah, all that Black Panther type literature is, I think, what built him up to do this to John Gotti, because when he found out that the Aryan Nation had cut into John Gotti, and John Gotti was supporting them by giving them money and all that, and he probably felt some type of way about that. You know, in jail, you could be friends with somebody and become friends with them like a walkie, like brothers. As soon as that friend befriends somebody else, it can start a war. Animosity can make you really kill somebody in a federal situation like that. So I'm thinking that could have happened, because I think John Gotti stopped paying, and then when he stopped paying, why would he try to pay them again to get rid of the guy? So there's a lot of speculations. There's a lot of shit that don't make sense to me that's dealing with that. Now, first, the guard said the picture that's out there floating around ain't the real guy. Now, I'm going to honestly tell y'all, the picture that I showed y'all seemed like it's a different picture from the thumbnail, right? Now, the picture I showed when I made the video of that was a video, and this is crazy. I made that video with John Gotti and the guy supposed to be Walter Johnson with the thing around his head. And I also made the video with a guy who I said beat up the guards and all that, came out here and allegedly killed somebody, went back to jail, and we looking for him in D.C. And the thing is, it was the same person. Two different stories, but I was talking about the same person, the John Gotti incident, and didn't even realize it. To now. And the crazy thing is, it's like, why would he? And they said he was one of them radical type guys who didn't like the white man, right? So why would he attack John Gotti unless John Gotti got down with the Aryan Nation and the guy felt betrayed? So I'm thinking they really was cool with each other. But when John Gotti started to pay them Aryan Nations, that's when I think Walter Johnson just blew a gasket. Because now you trying to play me after you didn't open up to me a lot of shit. Y'all told each other a lot of shit about each other. So I'm thinking that's what could have happened. Because after that happened to John Gotti, ain't nothing happened to Walter Johnson. But they said he went to another jail and protect. Y'all gotta watch the video when y'all rewind this and y'all hear when the guard breaks it down and say what happened to the Walter Johnson after the incident happened. It's crazy. Because the video say that Walter Johnson had got transferred, right? He went to the hole. But when he went to another jail, he had protection against the Aryan Nation, they said, because they had to beef up security and all that. They found out what happened. They had the tapes and everything. And they found out John Gotti put the contract out and all that. So that's why maybe they couldn't get Walter Johnson, because he had that type of security. But you hear what his son said. His son said he took protective custody after he did that to his dad. You know, something was going to happen to him. No, that ain't what happened. They fought, I guess, straight up, because John Gotti wasn't no pussy. He just said he probably couldn't beat Walter Johnson. So when the guards see who was the aggressor, who put the most damage in, you know, they see the age different and all that. He younger, John Gotti older. I think he's like 53. Walter Johnson probably was in his 30s, something like that. And he went on him, and they saw it. So if they see what happened, they're going to put the aggressor in the hole. So that's why Walter Johnson went in the hole. Like when I beat the boy up in the kitchen, we both went to the hole, but he got out because he told the rest of what happened, even though they saw what happened. And they kept me in the hole for 90 days. And they let him out in 2 weeks. Yeah. So same thing with John Gotti's situation. They put the guy in the hole because they seen what he did and they seen him fuck John Gotti up. Not know like what his son said, hit him one time and cuffed him. No, man, you got, look, you can tell. Look at John Gotti's face. John Gotti got a busted nose and that shit coming down his face. And he wired it. Just imagine probably how his ribs and all that shit looking bruised up and everything. So my thing is, and I'm not trying to make fun of him or disrespect him, may he rest in peace, you know what I mean? Like I tell you, I got Italian in my family. Caselli's. Brunetti Caselli was my great-grandfather. You know what I mean? Yeah. And my great-grandmother was Indian and black. So Indian and black mixed with Italian made my grandmother, and my mother was born because my grandmother and my grandfather had my mother. My mom and dad had me. So I'm not a racist at all. I'm just letting y'all know what happened in that jail. Now, I believe that John Gotti was assaulted, but not for being a racist, because you heard the guy said he wasn't a racist. But they trying to say that John Gotti made a racist slur. But then they said that they was arguing the day before that because John Gotti told, Walter Johnson to get out of his way. But I don't know how he said it. And I think he said Walter Johnson got bad. He don't forget shit. And everybody thought it was cool. And the next day, he got him. Maybe he made it seem like he chumped him in front of a lot of people, disrespected him in front of a lot of people. But what they was arguing about, and people saw it, in jail, you can't let a motherfucker chump. You'll play you, everybody do it. So you gotta handle your business. You know what I mean? Gotta go. Philly trenches.